ABC 13 Eyewitness News at 9 starts now on the CW39.
A 4-month-old baby is in the NICU at Texas Children's Hospital fighting for her life. The father works for Border Patrol and is stationed in Arizona. He has tirelessly been trying to get transferred to be there for his baby girl, but Border Patrol has repeatedly denied him, all over a technicality that the baby doesn't live in the same household where the father is stationed. The mother spoke only to ABC 13's Brooke Taylor.
Jessica Clark dreams of the day she can bring her little girl home from Texas Children's Hospital.
They made us a little box with the things that she'd outgrown.
Her crib and room await.
I mean, honestly, a lot of times I don't even feel like I'm a mom, you know.
Her daughter Ruby, born in November with health complications. Clark was induced 2 months early to save both their lives.
Originally, she had a brain bleed that self-resolved after a few weeks, and now she has, I believe they call it hydrocephalus, when she has fluid on her brain, and then she also has a blood clot that's near her heart.
To add to what she's already forced to go through, her child's father works in Border Patrol and is stationed in Arizona. He's been denied what they refer to as a compassionate transfer.
And he just wants to be a dad. Like, we both just want to be parents together.
According to the Border Patrol policy, quote, employees may request compassionate transfers when dire emergencies exist, affecting the physical or mental health of the employee or a member of the employee's immediate family residing in his or her household. While Clark and Matthew Shellis are together, they're not legally married and don't live in the same household. The child lives in Houston with the mom while he's stationed in Arizona. That technicality is what got him denied. In a denial letter from Border Patrol headquarters, it states, quote, the newborn is not an immediate family member residing in the employee's household at his permanent duty station.
The name of their policy, compassion. It's meant to help, to help people that are experiencing some of the worst times in their lives. And that's what this is.
Ruby's expected to have a long journey ahead with upcoming surgeries and the fear of the unknown. Clark just wants the father of her child to be there and believes Border Patrol needs to rewrite their policy.
Be human. Like, this is not okay. Like, this is not normal. Nobody planned for this. Nobody asked for this.
Brooke Taylor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Clark said she has been looking into moving to Arizona with their baby, but she says Texas Children's Hospital is one of the top-rated hospitals in the country, and she doesn't want to jeopardize the care that they're getting or risk flying her to Arizona. We reached out to Border Patrol to find out why the policy is written the way that it is and whether they care to change it for their employees. We will let you know if we ever get a response. We want you to take a look at security video showing a couple wanted for questioning in a connection with a deadly triple shooting outside of a nightclub. This video shows you the man and woman walking outside of the Huatamo nightclub along BeachNet early Sunday morning. Police want to talk to them about a shooting that left 3 men dead. If you know these people, you are urged to call Crime Stoppers. The TABC has shut down the club for a week. Houston police say the victim may have gotten into an argument with an unknown man. Eyewitnesses say that man was accompanied by a woman. More lighting is coming to the seawall in Galveston this week. Contractors are working on the second part of a project to install lights between 39th and 45th. Leaders say this is just the start of trying to light more of the seawall. The lights are part of an ongoing effort to improve the walkability of Seawall Boulevard. This phase of the project is expected to be finished by the end of April. And I know that today here in Houston, it felt almost like beach weather. Is that going to continue for us?
I think we'll have at least another day of it, but we've got even more days in the 10-day forecast. It'll be almost as nice as what we had today. But we do have a chance for rain coming, and it'll come from the same storm system that has been bringing severe weather to the west coast of the United States. That moisture is going to be moving in our direction. It'll be a cool front moving in as well that will give us a shot for showers and thunderstorms on Friday. We think there will be a better chance for severe weather to the north and east of us. So this is mainly rain with a couple of claps of thunder here in southeast Texas. Beautiful tomorrow, warm and breezy, temperature 84, 70% chance on Friday. Saturday's looking great. I'll have all the details straight ahead.
We are now hearing more from the relatives of I Know Otino. These are they are reacting to more security video that was released showing what happened to Otieno in his jail cell prior to a second physical encounter with law enforcement at a Virginia mental hospital. Otieno died after the incident. Prosecutors have charged 7 deputies and 3 hospital workers with murder. ABC's Lindsay Watts has more details on the new footage. We want to warn you that some of you may find the images disturbing.
ABC News has obtained new video showing what happened when Ivo Otieno was still in jail just prior to being transported to the Virginia Psychiatric Hospital, where he later died. Deputies gather outside his cell at the Henrico County Jail. After several minutes, they rush inside. Prosecutors claim deputies beat and pepper sprayed Otieno as he was sitting by himself. One deputy appears to strike Otieno several times before dragging him from his cell. Deputies struggle to put him in a white transport van, and he's eventually forced into the back of a police SUV. Otieno was then taken to a mental hospital where prosecutors allege he can be seen being smothered to death in this disturbing surveillance video.
My best friend is not around for me to talk to.
Family members are devastated and demanding accountability.
To see these 9 men and a woman literally squeeze the breath out of my child was heartbreaking.
A 911 call indicates the hospital reported a cardiac arrest, and prosecutors suggest the call was made hours after Otieno was already dead.
Emergency here at Central State Hospital.
For
20 minutes ago. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. We have medics en route.
7 deputies and 3 hospital workers have been charged with second-degree murder. An attorney for one of the deputies says his client did nothing to stop Otieno from breathing.
But no time did he have any contact with his upper body.
Prosecutors say after Otieno died, his body was moved and handcuffs were taken off of him and cleaned before state police were called. They also say that none of the deputies arrested made truthful statements about what happened. Prosecutors say more charges could be coming. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Investigators are still trying to find out what led to a massive fire at a vacant church this morning in northwest Harris County. ABC 13 is the only station with this video showing flames shooting from this old church on West Montgomery. The fire burned like this for more than an hour, ultimately requiring 9 different departments to put it out. This all started shortly after 6 this morning, while crews were battling another fire nearby.
Once they got on scene and began fighting that fire, a bystander came over and told them that the church across the street from us was actually on fire as well.
It's not known if the 2 fires are related or how they started, but we do know that there were no hydrants in the area. That's why so many crews were needed. Luckily, nobody was injured. There is a new affordable housing complex open for families in need in Channelview. The Hollows apartment on Dellsdale Street replaced houses damaged back during Hurricane Harvey. There's 192 units in this complex, and it was paid for by the Harris County Community Development Block Grants. They are currently taking applications. Rent for a 1-bedroom is going to start at $419 a month compared to an average of $1,700 a month in Channelview.
And I've been in a wheelchair for like 34 years, and I've never been in a handicapped unit apartment like I'm in now. The bedrooms got a lot of space. The kitchen space, I can reach the cabinets and get to everything with no problem. The tubs, everything. Stove, sinks, I could do it all here that I couldn't do when I was staying elsewhere.
The county says there are 15 units set aside for people transitioning from homelessness and 33 units for extremely low-income families. And residents will also have access to a food pantry, transportation assistance, child education, and adult support programs like tax prep and life skills training. In Florida, a strip club security guard stopped what could have been a mass shooting, and it was all caught on camera. You have got to see this video. Watch here as a man wearing a devil mask and a red shirt attempts to enter the club while holding a pistol. You can see it right there in his hand. Manny Resto spotted the gun and went into action. He knocked the gun out of the suspect's hand.
So I'm pointing it towards the door, and I decided that he was not going to enter the club and hurt anybody.
And despite being hit on the head several times, Resto managed to get the suspect's gun and used it to pistol whip him as others took him down to the ground. Police found additional ammo and knives in the suspect's pocket. They believe Resto saved the lives of everybody in the club. Coming up, why the feds are raising interest rates once again, what this means for your bank account. And we have breaking news in Northeast Harris County. Our TransStar cameras, that's what you're looking at right now. They show a crash in the eastbound lanes of Beltway 8 and Highway 90A. This is a two-car crash scene that is blocking all but one lane of traffic. Again, this is a breaking news event. We'll bring you those updates as soon as we get them. Big news today from the Federal Reserve, the central bank deciding to raise interest rates by 0.25 percentage point. The decision coming in the aftermath of two regional bank failures, the takeover of international banking giant Credit Suisse by UBS, and a chaotic couple of weeks on Wall Street. ABC's Lindsay Watts is in Washington with more on the impact of today's announcement.
A pivotal announcement by the Federal Reserve. The Fed raising interest rates by 0.25 percentage point. The Fed walking a tightrope. They're trying to balance continuing to aggressively raise interest rates to battle inflation or easing the hike on rates to avoid further plunging the banking system into crisis.
My colleagues and I understand the hardship that high inflation is causing, and we remain strongly committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal.
Powell also making projections on the economy.
The process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go and is likely to be bumpy.
The Fed has been rapidly boosting interest rates over the past year in an effort to significantly bring down inflation. But the rate hikes have also inflicted greater economic pain on people looking to borrow money to purchase things like homes and cars. They've also sent credit card interest rates soaring. As an example, if someone makes minimum payments toward the average credit card balance of just over $5,800, they'd end up paying over $8,300 in interest over 20 months.
They meet again in May and then again in June. We could start seeing the Federal Reserve pausing these interest rate hikes in the months to come.
While the Fed didn't hold off on raising rates as some had predicted, the rate hike today was less aggressive than prior rate hikes. It comes after the collapse of Silicon Valley and Signature banks. Some critics say the rapid rise in interest rates contributed to the failure of those banks and created instability and a lack of confidence in the U.S. banking system.
Our banking system is sound and resilient.
Inflation has fallen significantly since its summer peak, but right now it remains more than triple the Fed's target of 2%. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Every day, we are learning something new about space. Researchers with Japan's space agency detected organic molecules in samples from two locations on an asteroid near Earth. They found uracil, which is one of the building blocks of RNA. They also found vitamin B3. That's important for the metabolism in living beings. These two molecules have been found in meteorites that landed on Earth. The findings support the theory that the building blocks of life originated in space and were brought to Earth billions of years ago by meteorites. David, that is pretty cool.
It is.
That's super.
Finally, some confirmation.
Maybe there is life out there. And I know that you may not be an expert on space, but you do know what's going on in the atmosphere.
Yeah, closer to Earth.
A little closer to home.
Not too far out in the lowest, 60,000 feet or so is where I like to ride. And in that area is where we have a lot of moisture coming in. Some moisture is already at the ground, so it's starting to feel humid out there, but we're going to get moisture up near cloud level. That, along with the front, will help to give us a 70% chance for rain as we head into your Friday. Now, this system will be out of here on Saturday. It'll be much less humid. Saturday is going to be an absolutely beautiful day, but the moisture returns quickly on Sunday, and so Sunday is looking like a wetter day. We've raised the rain chance on Sunday and lowered the rain chance coming up on Monday. Overnight tonight, temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. High temperatures for tomorrow, a couple of degrees warmer than today. Upper 60s and actually mid 80s is what we're forecasting for tomorrow, and it's going to be windy out there as well. Future Track says that for tomorrow, well, there's not going to be much rain out there. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds coming up for your Thursday. Clouds will thicken up as we head into the day on Friday, and it's on Friday that we'll see some scattered showers and some scattered thunderstorms as well as we head into the afternoon. We think the worst of the weather will occur well north and northeast of us over parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Mississippi, places like that where severe weather is going to be possible. Not so much here. So our chance for severe weather is low here, but it's pretty high across parts of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. You get closer to home, we're talking about a low chance for a severe storm at about 5%. So not much of a chance there. And it's not going to be enough rain to cause any significant flooding out there either. Most areas will see less than 1/4 inch of rain, with a little bit more occurring across our northern counties. Again, as we head into Saturday, it's looking beautiful with no clouds or rain around coming up on Saturday. But by Sunday, we'll begin to see moisture move back in. There could be showers around first thing in the morning, and certainly during the afternoon, those showers will be moving back in. 84 tomorrow, very breezy out there with peaks of sunshine, showers and windy coming up on Friday with a 70% chance. Lower humidity coming up Saturday. Rain moves back in on Sunday, and then it's gone by the time we get to late Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
A lot to look at there, David. Thank you. An update now to a strange story a lot of you read about on our website back in January. We now know why a Rutgers University graduate from South Korea allegedly tried to pose as a high school student. 29-year-old Hae-jong Chin pled not guilty this week to charges related to false documents and hindering her own persecution. Prosecutors say she enrolled in a New Jersey high school. She only lasted a week before the school discovered her birth certificate was fake.
It was more of an issue of her returning to a sense of feeling and belonging and acceptance in a country where she's separated from her family.
Police had earlier said they found no evidence that Chin had any intentions to harm any students or staff. 4 sailors survived being sunk by a whale. The friends were on their ship on the middle of the Pacific Ocean when they heard a loud bang. A crew member saw a whale gushing blood and soon realized that it had collided with their boat. Whale experts say that this was likely an accident.
They can sometimes be coming up very quickly to get a breath of air, and if there's a boat in the way, this type of accident can occur.
The damage to the ship caused it to sink, and the crew was forced to jump into a lifeboat. But thanks to GPS tracking in their emergency supplies, they were rescued in 10 hours. The famous rattlesnake roundup in the Texas town of Sweetwater was held this month, but there's now growing criticism over how the snakes are collected and treated at the event. Each year, the nonprofit Sweetwater JC hosts roundup. Thousands of pounds of rattlesnakes are hunted and rounded up on the second weekend of March. This is when venomous snakes are emerging from their dens to breed in the spring. People put gas into the snake den to get them to come out into the open so that they can be captured.
Putting gas in the den? What about everything else that's in the den? You know, even if you hate rattlesnakes with all your heart, you know, there's all these other things that they share their dens with. It harms the environment, you know.
That rattlesnake expert and research scientist said roundups where snakes are killed display a lack of humanity for the reptiles. At the roundup exhibits, rattlesnakes are skinned and milked for venom. This video from Kashmir shows the moment an earthquake hit as doctors were performing a C-section delivery. Doctors performed the surgery while their equipment was trembling and the lights went out. You can see it in the video there. The doctors say that both the mother and the baby are doing just fine. We'll be right back with another look at our top stories. Recapping our top stories, 1 person was injured in a fire and 2 explosions at a Pasadena chemical plant. The explosion happened at the Inose plant. Officials say liquid petroleum gas was being transferred from a truck to a tank for storage when a fire started and triggered the explosions. The cause of the initial fire is under investigation. There was another rowdy scene at a TEA community meeting on the takeover of HISD. The state is trying to answer questions about the new managers who will replace the freely elected school board and the superintendent. We'll have more information on the meeting on our live stream at 10 p.m. Houston police are looking for a couple to question them about a deadly triple shooting outside of a nightclub. They were seen walking outside the club along Beach Nut early Sunday morning. Police say the 3 victims may have gotten into an argument with an unknown man. Witnesses say that that man was accompanied by a woman. Now let's get a final look at the forecast with David.
And if you like today, I think you will love tomorrow. Going to start off with mostly cloudy sky out there. Not expecting much fog simply because we'll have a bit of a breeze blowing first thing tomorrow morning. Temperatures around 70 degrees or so at 7 a.m. And we're going to have this south wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast for tomorrow. 79 at noon, 84 for high. Rain chance, not zero, but it's less than 20%. 3-day forecast shows showers and maybe a thunderstorm move in on Friday. That'll be a front that'll blow through, lower our humidity on Saturday big time.
And thank you so much for spending the rest of your night with us. Make sure you're enjoying the rest of your evening.